I talked to George Antonios, who's King James only. I thought it was a very reasonable conversation, but I want to suggest an example of something I've been talking about recently, that most English translations do a terrible job of reflecting what Jesus is teaching, and it's better seen when you see it in the Greek. It has to do with John 11:26. When you understand what the Greek says, it's like a double emphatic negation of, sorry, I got coffee on my mustache. In the English, it usually says, "will never die." When you look at it in the Greek, is what verse 25 and 26 is actually teaching, is that what Jesus is saying is, well, he basically says this: "He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live." Verse 26. "And he who lives and believes in me shall never die again," or can't possibly die. But it's aeon there. Is what he's really saying is, look, in this world, if you're a believer in me, you're going to die, but I'm going to resurrect you at the end of the age, is the theology there. And in the next verse, he says, then the believers who live, that would be the ones resurrected, can't possibly die in the age to come. That's what that verse teaches. But you almost can't even understand that unless your theology's right and you can parse that out. You can see it in the Greek. People will come to me and say, "Oh, Jamie, don't you believe Christians can never die?" Well, yeah, they can't ever die the second death. I believe that. They can't ever die, be thrown into hell, where they're destroyed and don't live anymore, because only the saved have eternal life. But see, this is where the theology comes into it. But he doesn't say Christians can't die. People will read verse 26, and they'll be like, "Jamie, you think Christians can die?" Well, what do you mean? Grandma died. Didn't you notice that? People do die. People die. Believers die every day. So, I mean, what he's teaching is believers will never die after they're resurrected because they'll have immortal bodies. But anyways, the King James does not reflect what Jesus is teaching there very well at all, and neither does most English translations. But when you look at the Greek, it can actually help you see what's going on there. So look, you can't correct the original languages with an English translation. Sorry, Dr. Antonios, I love you though.